when I mentioned that couple was older. They're probably in their 50s, going into their 60s, and this was in 2015, so they're maybe in their 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they met in the 80s. Reagan was the president. You had Dukakis. You had, Geraldine Ferrara. I think that's her name. You had Jesse Jackson. You had Biden. Biden tried to run in 88. So you had, notable Democrats. But the contention between Democrats and Republicans was almost accepted. It was acceptable play. And they still found ways to work with each other to get policy done. That was criticism Kamala had of Biden in the 2015 debates about the fact that, he had worked with a segregationist who was still alive at the time in the 70s, early 70s when he first, he got into very young with politics as a senator. I think now that's going to be difficult because your political beliefs have now become a part of how you define yourself as opposed to what you choose to believe or vote on in order to make the world a better place or a more productive place or whatever you fill in the blank place.
Mm-hmm.
It now becomes a part of who you are, almost like your hashtags or your social media profile.
Mm-hmm.
It's your brand.
Yeah.
Your politics are your brand, and so you're not going to speak against your brand. Beyonce's not going to show up after she done Freedom and everything else and just be walking out with, Josh Hawley. I'm sorry, the guy who just won the senator. And I just misspoke his name, but she's not going to walk out with Kari Lake. She lost her run, but she's not going to walk out with Kari Lake. That's against her brand. Either Kari Lake's making an announcement that she's switching sides, but it ain't going to be Beyonce going that way. And we have to think about that. People now it's very difficult to do that. It's very difficult to say, I'm Republican and I'm going Democrat. You have people who won't vote the opposite. It's a big thing, but I do see couples that have made it happen, but I think those couples got together before this level of crazy political dialogue started. Senator Joe Lieberman, rest in peace, once said he got out of politics. He got out in 2010. He just passed away. He said, when I first came into politics, people disagreed with the president or disagreed with the opposing party, and they had a better path to solve particular problems that were being highlighted at that time. He's like, since Clinton, I've noticed change, Bill Clinton, that people began to hate the president. So it started with Clinton, and he's like, and I saw it with Bush, and now I'm seeing it with Obama, and I just don't want to be in politics anymore because of that.
It was disagreement and critique. Now it's just straight up hatred and literally assassination attempts.
Yeah. And calls to kill. I mean, how many times was Obama called the N-word on Twitter?
Yeah. George Bush get a whole shoe thrown at him.
Remember that? Well, that was on a foreign country. So to be fair, that was during the Iraq War. But,
But still, there used to be some level of respect for the president, even on at an international level.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it's kind of that old thing. You can only control what you can do. And I'm just thinking of the you and the kind of U.S. sense. Yeah. It's different now. And he's right. Ever since Clinton, people started to hate the president. People didn't like Reagan. There were Democrats like, I can't stand Reagan. People didn't.
Off the charts. For real. Snake charmer.
I've made a list of like the top charismatic men of the 20th century. He's definitely probably one or two. I would say number one, him, Marlon Brando, Tupac.
I was good. Tupac got to be up here. Kanye's also.
Well,
niggas don't think so, but
maybe 21st century. I'm just talking about 20th century, like you ending on 1999.
Yeah.
Marlon Brando, Porfido or Rodriguez. What's that dude's name? The Dominican dude who apparently had the 11-inch member. He slept with like all these Hollywood starlets. He married within a 5-year time span 2 of the richest women in the world within like 5 years of each other. Perfido, I mean,
I think JFK had it.
yeah. Oh, no, his charisma was, yeah, yeah. His charisma was off the hook. Maybe some Paul Robeson was there. I don't think he's up there with those dudes we just mentioned, but he's on that list. But I mean,
I heard Jack Johnson had a lot of charisma.
oh yeah, Jack Johnson, he definitely had charisma.
Muhammad
20th
Ali, I mean,
Muhammad Ali, yeah. So I mean, we're dealing with the top 10 now of charismatic
wait,
men of
no,
20th.
no, let's throw out some women.
Ooh, 20th century.
Eartha Kitt. I mean,
Okay, Eartha Kitt.
just dripping charisma.
Yeah. Eartha Kitt. I would say Grace Jones. You know, I'm a big Grace Jones fan. I think she had charisma.
Now we're not talking about charisma and aesthetic, right? Because I think Carol Burnett had people like eating out the
Carol
palm
Burnett
of her
has great
hand,
charisma.
bro.
Carol Burnett has great charisma.
Yeah.
Great charisma.
Like we've always talked
I
about
love
Felicia
Carol Burnett's
Rashad.
show. She did a recent show where she dressed up like Cher. I was like, wow, man! Like Carol Burnett had like a nice little like body, and like just her charisma was great, and just like comedic genius. A lot of people don't give her credit.
Facts.
Like, I think after her
or Lucille Ball.
Son, Lucille Ball, charisma, leadership,
At the wazoo,
innovation.
She was like, "Oh, we gonna make sure these actresses get paid. We gonna make sure of that."
Yeah. There was a joint that got floating around on the internet where she was doing a show and the guy was like, talk show, and the guy kept putting his hands around the women. She's like, take your hands off her. Because he was just being handsy. He put his hand on the back, like, okay, man, tell me. He's like, yo, John, take your hands off her. Yeah, no, take your hands off her. Like, she just kept calling dude out for.
We're gonna respect women out here.
Yeah. I'm not on my watch.
Right.
Y'all may let this go down when I'm not here, but when I'm here, take your hands off those women.
Yeah.
You don't need to touch her. He's like, oh, this woman has a great idea. And he go put her hand on her shoulder. She's like, I can hear her great. He goes, I can hear her great idea with you putting her hand on her shoulder. Yeah. Take your hand off her shoulder.
I didn't hear no consent. No, this is okay. No, legit. I mean, and that's when consent was highly overlooked. That's how slick it was.
Yeah. I mean, that's how dudes do. Yeah. And that was like, because she died in 88, so that had to be like the 70s, I think, from what I could tell. Oh, yes, Lucille Ball's. And you know, another thing about Lucille Ball that I really enjoy, she's responsible for some of the major mainstream productions, TV shows, Mission Impossible, Star Trek, came through her production house. I mean, she had a mind for the business. Just like I said, Carol Burnett had a mind, comedic genius, had a mind for the business. Who else is a charismatic woman?
Well, you've always talked about Felicia Rashad.
Felicia Rashad, yeah, great. One of the greats of the 20th century. Absolutely.
My goodness.
Yeah. Great charisma. I mean, charisma that's just like, her charisma had its own personality.
Exactly.
Exactly. Her charisma was getting Emmys. Yeah, no, her
son. Your man said her charisma had charisma.
Yeah, exactly. I would say Jasmine Guy. I think Jasmine Guy, when she was doing Different Worlds, had a lot of charisma. It was more understated, but
let me tell you, bro. When I got to hang out with her, I did not realize how much of an entrepreneurial mindset that woman has.
Say more.
Well, I mean, when I did press with her that day, she was telling a lot of stories about how she had written things that she had pitched to networks, got rejected, and then a few years later saw an iteration of it.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. Hollywood.
And it's like, yo, she could pinpoint, oh, I could show you the script that I wrote for this, and I could show you when I pitched such and such network. And you like, man, bro, she just has so many ideas that people have taken credit for. So many, I think, instances where things really could have been her brainchild. And she really would have been credited with a lot of ideas for shows and production that people will never know about. And I think somebody like her, the more she talks about it, it's almost like the more it enrages people, because there was no social media when she was around to really document this stuff.
There was no third space to grieve, because social media would get your attention and it would start to the saber rattling, which then maybe a lawyer would come by like, well, maybe there's something to this.
Well, I mean, also, she probably would have been like, "Hey, y'all, I'm at NBC today pitching blah blah blah," and it would have been record of it,
Oh,
right?
that's true. Okay, okay,
So
yeah,
it's like
that's
there's no real traceable record of any of this stuff. So it's like when she tells the stories, I think people kind of feel like they're just listening to it old. I don't even call it old, but just like a bitter woman
yeah,
who
yeah, yeah, yeah,
never
yeah.
got her
Yeah,
comeuppance and
exactly.
just
Shut up.
another
You was in a different world. What do you care? You didn't make nothing of it.
exactly just
Yeah, and they
another
write you
person
off.
out here complaining and money grabbing. And it's like, nah, son, I actually got a resume and I've actually done things out here.
Yeah, no, no.
People know my name still to this day.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
It's
yeah.
like y'all might only know me for this, but there are people in the biz who know me on the other side of the camera,
Yeah, for
from
sure, for
behind the
sure,
camera.
sure.
Yeah.
Trying to think of other charismatic women. Um, think of
I
some
think Tina
business.
Turner's a charismatic
Oh
woman.
yeah, 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 yeah. R.I.P. to Tina. Yeah, Tina was a charismatic woman. Definitely a charismatic
I think
woman.
all of those, R&B icons or soul icons or
Yeah,
rock icons, like Aretha had a lot of
yeah,
charisma.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Whitney
Shaka.
Whitney definitely had a lot of
Oh yeah, yeah,
personality
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
charisma.
yeah. Oh yeah, Whitney did Shaka. I would say Shaka
Oh
Khan.
yeah.
Yo, Jody Watley.
Even on the white side, Dolly Parton had a lot of
Oh, that's
charisma.
something we can talk. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dolly Parton, Lucy Liu. I mean, she may bleed into 21st. I'm only saying because she was in Ally McBeal, which was like
Hmm.
late 90s. Uh, but yeah, Dolly Parton. We mentioned Carol Burnett. I'm trying to think if there's some other comedians that women comedians that might be out there that were really 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 good as well.
Listen, I thought Angela Davis had a lot of charisma too. Listening to her speak,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Black Panther
yeah, yeah,
professor,
yeah.
current professor.
Listening to her talk, and
Yeah,
even when it was very mild mannered and just matter of fact, it just held a
hmm
lot of weight.
yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Maya Angelou,
Yes, charisma.
yeah,
Said,
hmm
young lady, don't call me Maya. It's Miss Angelo to you.
even Cinnamon, what's this lady's name? The musician talking about killing her husband and all of that stuff.
I
Oh my
can't
god,
remember it.
why is her name escaping me? And it
What
was
did she
like this
say?
whole uproar with Kamala Harris doing something with her family, not giving them rights to something.
I didn't hear about that.
Oh my gosh, she's got the Nina Simone.
Oh,
She
Nina
had a
Simone. Oh, yeah, yeah,
whole lot of charisma.
yeah. She was in another dimension
Of charisma, legit.
and creativity
Yeah,
too.
no doubt.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Another dimension of
She was in the
of
multiverse.
yeah. No, she was. She was. Her whole mindset was just crazy. I'm trying to think of some other just all around Raquel Welch,
Mm.
Sophia Loren.
Throwing out some names there, buddy.
Yeah, shit. Going back to Ava Gardner,
Yeah, you definitely taking it
Barbara
back.
Stanwyck. And
The
just like, all right, now
horn.
we
What
get into the
about the
30s.
horn?
Like we just
What about the horn?
Lena
Lena
Horne.
Horn.
Nah, Lena Horne is flips in them all. In them all. Lena Horne
Uh,
fades them all.
Diana Ross.
Yeah,
How can we forget Diana?
Diana's great. Diana's
Crazy
great.
charisma, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, her
Hmm.
daughter Tracy inherited that as her own.
My lord.
Tracy,
My
Tracy,
lord.
Tracy
Like
Ellis
when you
Ross
think
is
about personalities that just kind of stick out,
yeah, intelligence, leadership,
beauty,
beauty.
but the kind of, I mean, feminism or very feminine,
Yeah, yeah,
peak
yeah, yeah.
feminine energy.
Mm-hmm,
You know
hmm
what I mean? Like I feel like, yeah, she really does encompass it all. She's
Yeah,
funny,
yeah,
very
yeah,
personable. It seems
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, absolutely.
I like that.
Tracy Ellis Ross is dope. Let me let's go to
The
let's go
Book
to
of
Chat
Ephesians.
GPT.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. The book of Chat GPTians. Let's go, guys. I got a lot of meat for you today. I don't
Harry,
hear those AIs moving.
quickly now.
Exactly. I want you to put this prompt into your AI. Let's go, let's go, let's go. My mic's not right.
Come on, sound ministry, get it right. I need y'all to get this right.
Where's my clock? My clock's not right. My clock. Stop
Hmm.
my clock. I want to be on time. The Giants are playing.
We'll
We need to
talk
be
to the
home.
people of God real quick.
Let me see. Let's see. Top 20 charismatic women in the 20th century. Let's see. I'm curious how this would work for ChatGPT.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of the names we mentioned.
Oh, there's some. No, son. There's some. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go.
What they gonna say, like Madame Curie?
Yeah, they did. They did.
I already know. I already know, son. I already know.
Maria Curie. Yeah, they did. They
Uh-huh.
did say her.
Gotta get
Yeah,
that one
yeah,
in
yeah.
there. Gotta get that one in there.
Yeah, good, good. And she was number 2, so really good guess. Eleanor Roosevelt,
Mm.
incredible
N-
statesperson. I mean,
Nancy
incredible
Reagan, he got in
diplomat.
there.
We'll get there. Frida Kahlo, which
Okay.
if you read her
Yeah.
biography, yeah, definitely. Amelia Earhart. I mean, I don't know about charisma, but I'm talking about like daring and just obviously adventurer and
Mm-hmm.
just crazy. Margaret Thatcher. You know, I wouldn't say charisma. I would say a, a mother effing leader. Like you don't get to be Margaret Thatcher on some just showing up and being mousy, like kicking the door, waving the 4-4.
While your guns
All,
raising,
yeah,
mine's
all I
and
heard was
blazing.
royalty saying, "Don't beat me no more."
Facts.
Yeah, the Iron
Mm-hmm.
Lady, Billie Holiday, crazy charisma. Love Billie Holiday, man. Mother Teresa, okay.
I don't know about Billie Holiday. I mean,
Nah, Billie, I
musically,
would say,
I have
yeah.
not really seen a whole lot of her
I
interviews or
just,
her
yeah,
speak,
I've
but
read. It's more reading.
yeah.
I've seen quotes from her reading, and just like the way she tells her stories. Rosa Parks,
Hmm.
Simone de Beauvoir. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right. I know her; she's the philosopher. Audrey Hepburn, for sure. Breakfast at Tiffany's, all that. Maya Angelou,
Mm-hmm.
Indira Gandhi, first Prime Minister of India. Aretha Franklin, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. I mean, I don't really. Virginia
Mm-hmm.
Woolf, I've heard of her.
Okay.
I just don't know that much about her. Josephine Baker, charisma out the
Mm.
wazoo to be a spy, a mom, adopt a bunch of interracial kids.
All of that.
Yeah,
She's like,
Eddie
I could do
Lamar.
it all. I could do.
Yeah,
Oh, Hedy Lamar. Wow.
Hollywood actress and inventor. She
Mm-hmm.
co-developed frequency hopping technology that is the basis for modern Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
Wow.
Shout out to Hedy Lamar. Angela Davis.
There's a couple we mentioned on there already.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Gloria Steinem.
Mm. Okay. That's a
You know, what's the song? Give me another 20.
yeah. More of the
I'm
more of
enjoying
the
this.
AA people of color persuasion,
For
maybe.
those listening, these are literally Jay and I would have conversations like this without you guys. So if you find it boring, this is just what we do when we're together. Okay, it's just keeping it real, right? Me and you, this is why we started the podcast. This is the kind
Yeah,
of
we do.
conversations we have. Golda Meir, the first
Mm-hmm.
female prime minister.
Yeah.
Billie Jean King, okay. Betty Friedan, the art of feminine mystique and the co-founder of the National Organization for Women. Coco Chanel, well, absolutely.
See now,
I've seen quotes about her.
it's. I mean, maybe because I haven't really heard a lot of these people talk, I don't really know what their charisma is. I mean, obviously,
I've
like you
seen,
said, they're
again, quotes,
leaders.
movements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jane Goodall, like, I wouldn't say she's charismatic, but a fucking great thinker and anthropologist. One of the
Mm-hmm.
great anthropologists of the 20th century and scholars of the 20th century. Eva Peron, I mean, I just know her from Don't Cry Me Argentina, Madonna. Madonna was another one I was going to say top charismatic woman for the 20th
Very
century.
charismatic. Yeah.
Patti Smith, she's making her way right now, I think, online with some stuff. Alice Walker, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Margaret Mead, or what I'm very familiar with her, with the anthropologist. Nina Simone,
We talked about it.
Barbara Walters, I can see that.
Okay.
I wouldn't call her charismatic, but definitely one of the greats at what she ever did.
So that means Oprah got to be on there.
Oh, I was gonna say Oprah, Queen
If they,
Elizabeth II. See, now you're getting to, I wouldn't call QE2 like that charismatic to me. Again,
mm-hmm. And I can see why you would say that.
yeah,
How many people have really heard her sit down and had a
yeah, and she didn't
intelligent
really give
conversations?
interviews.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure she was a no joke leader though, like behind scenes. Yeah, I said, balance the economy, get the pound up by, you know.
Listen, bro. I always feel like a female leader has to be twice as hard.
Oh hell yeah.
But listen, not necessarily twice as successful, but twice as hard
Because you don't
in
control the
their
success sometimes, the
pursuit
outcomes.
to it. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wangari Maathai, environmental political activist from Kenya. I don't the Green Belt movement. I think I've heard of the Green Belt movement. Just Anne Frank. Okay. She's a little girl, and I think
You read that diary and you like, There's a
Yeah,
lot
that
of
diary's
charisma
great.
in that diary.
Yeah. Anne Frank was. I mean, that diary's great.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mean to make it sound like it's a
No, like
something
a banger.
lighthearted to it. Yeah,
Yeah,
right, right.
yeah. It's not
But I
a.
mean,
But
for a child
to
at
tell
those
that
ages to
story,
tell that
yeah,
story so vividly and have that kind of memory and recollection,
yeah,
there's an intelligent charm to that.
yeah. Emilian Pankhurst, leader of the British suffrage movement. Coretta Scott King, very stately to me. Coretta Scott King.
Yeah. I
Phyllis.
feel like Michelle Obama's the second coming of Coretta, yo.
Oh yeah. But Michelle Obama is one of the best orators of the 21st century. She will go down. Her oration skills. I think she's better speaking than Obama. And Obama's one of the greats of the
One of the
21st century.
greats. One of
He'll
the
be top
greats.
5 so far.
Yeah, legit.
And I'm only almost a quarter into the century. So Ella Fitzgerald.
Mm. I gotta park the car for a second. She revolutionized music to me. I had heard, like, she basically taught me about what jazz is. Now, I had heard about what jazz is and read about it from like Louis Armstrong and Count Basie and people before her.
Yeah.
But as a vocalist, I never realized what jazz was until I listened to Ella Fitzgerald. And how she explained it was her voice would always like mimic an instrument that was playing in the band. So like if there was a piece that a horn would play, she would mimic what the horn would do. And that would be part of her either scatting or just her vocal intonation, how she approached a song. Like, it's like when I heard it and I heard her philosophy around it, I was like, yo, she's a genius.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the first lady of song, so appropriate. Phyllis Schlafly, conservative activist, she was instrumental in opposition to the Equal Rights Amendment. I don't even know who that is. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, RBG, notorious RBG, definitely charismatic.
The Notorious.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely was, even to the point where she was getting older and she was working out and all that stuff. All right, last 20. Another 20. ChatGPT is batting 1,000 right now. Now, the first 2 names are going to be interesting. Oh, another name we mentioned was on there. Here we go. Harriet Tubman. Now, I wouldn't say 20th century. She died in 1910.
Yeah,
but
I can see why they included her.
Because she died in 1910.
Yeah.
I mean, Harriet Tubman is, to me,
but her work was not 20th century work. The work was not 20th
I will say
work.
in the 200 plus years of America's existence, top 10 of the American citizens of all time, like citizens or Americans of all time. One of them.
I mean,
Harriet Tubman.
people were considering her for mint, putting her
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
So
yeah,
absolutely.
Zora Neale Hurston. I could see why people say that. Anthropologist and great writer. Rachel Carson. Don't know her. Lucille Ball. I could talk about Lucille Ball all day. Helen Keller. Okay. Grace Hopper, computer scientist and U.S. Navy Rear Admiral. She developed early programming language and is considered a pioneer in computing. Gloria Azaledua, Chicana culture theorist and author. Georgia O'Keeffe, modernist painter. Ida B. Wells. Again, I feel like Ida is another one like Harriet, like 1800s. But I mean, Ida B. Wells did a lot to bring attention to brothers being lynched. I mean, that was like her work. She was talking about all these black men being lynched, the lies being told about them, that they're rapists and all that stuff.
We didn't get Shirley Chisholm on there.
Yo, she's the next one.
Oh,
perfect. Yo, son.
That's crazy.
Literally, she's the next one, dude.
Crazy.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
she's literally the next one.
Wow.
Shirley Chisholm. Yeah, she's great. Yeah. Marlene Dietrich. Yeah, I know her from actress. Ella Baker, of course. Great actress. Doris Day, yes, because of her work with women, animal rights, I believe. Rosalind Franklin, chemist and X-ray crystallographer. Susan Sontag. Clara Barton. Marlene Sanders. People I don't know. Vivian Meyer. Makes you want to kind of pick up a book and start. Mary McLeod Bethune. She used to be in all the posters in the black church.
All the church fans.
Yeah, church fans, yo. Mary McLeod Bethune been on so many church fans.
Yeah. She was on all of them
Oh,
joints.
Julia Child, definitely French author, cuisine. I really would like to do that list over again with you, with like really looking at it from different ethnicities. Because I don't know of any like Asian women I'd like to add. Um, Latinas,
I mean, I
Black,
think
Caucasian.
Sophia Chang, if that's the case, because I mean, like, she was politicking with a lot of the. She to me, she was like a bridge for a lot of the Asian community to accept hip hop. The way she was covering it in the source and shit like that. Like, I mean, like
Yeah, yeah,
Miss
yeah,
Info. Like it was a couple of
yeah.
them that are just
Miss
been like,
Info's, but yeah, yeah, Sophia Chang. Wow, man, you're right. Shout out to Sophia Chang.
she's a
And yo, Miss
little
Info was great too. I remember her.
yes.
Definitely.
And we had to cut this out. But Sophia Chang is a little misguided about her importance in the larger history of hip hop. Like, I mean, I think she deserves her flowers, but I think she deserves a whole bouquet, two or three of them sometimes. And I'm like, all right, man, just calm down here.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. What about Latinas? Any famous Latinas that we could think of?
I mean, I think
Leaders?
Angie Marr for her work in radio.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, Angie Martinez was dope. I mean, I could put her in the 20th century, 21st century. I mean, I don't see her as charismatic in the traditional sense, J Lo, but I don't really see her as
She's charismatic.
good job.
But I think her, yeah, bro. But I don't know if you noticed, but ever since that whole situation with Diddy, her public charisma has changed. She's been
Mm,
more quiet about
yeah.
personal life. Like you
Mhm.
got to catch her,
Yeah, yeah,
and all
yeah.
of the interviews are curated
Yeah,
now.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
before, people will run down on you with a microphone. Every celebrity gonna get in front and
Yeah,
say
yeah.
something. After that, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Mm.
So I think, yeah, I mean, she had all the charisma when she was a fly girl. Or
Yeah, you're
when
right after
she
that.
when she elevated right past that,
Yeah, she did. Oh, Money Train?
forget about it. She was in front of every
Yeah,
camera.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Selena?
Mm-hmm.
God rest Selena's soul, man.
Yeah. Bitty bitty
Celia
bum bum.
Cruz?
Celia Cruz,
Rita
bro.
Moreno?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some
That
bangers
that
here,
I mean
man.
that sex scene with her and Jim Brown ruffled a lot of feathers, didn't it?
What, Rita Moreno?
Didn't she have a sex scene with Jim Brown? Oh no, that was Raquel Welch that had a
Oh,
sex
Raquel Welch
scene.
had it? Yeah, wow.
Yeah, with Jim Brown. Like, son, they had Hollywood going crazy out there.
Yeah, exactly. I was hitting the roof like, I should be the one in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Barry, you're just the guy who drops off the speakers on set and leaves.
Come on, Clark Gable. You can't even. They say he had really bad body odor.
Clark Gable?
Yeah. One of his leading ladies was like, yo, she had to pull him aside a couple of times. There's a couple of celebrities who have been known to have bad BO, son.
It's crazy.
Shia LaBeouf is one. Ben
Wow.
Affleck is one. Um,
For motherfuckers, someone they don't take showers. That came out a couple of while like I only take a shower when I need to. Remember Brad Pitt said that years ago, 30 years ago, I only take a shower when I'm
mhm.
on set.
Yeah, and some of them really only do hot spots. It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. That
pits,
really
privates, and butthole. They ain't
Yeah,
washing no
exactly.
feet.
Yeah, they ain't blessing their body with that water. Yo,
Make me sweat.
me talking about someone who's probably gonna be known as a very charismatic if she has longevity in the industry. If she has.
I mean, she controls that destiny because she looks the way she looks.
Of
But
course.
yeah, I guess what I'm saying is she can have that longevity if she plays her cards right.
Yeah, of course. You know who actually I think is charismatic, and she's because of all her. She's actually funny. Is Ariana Grande,
Mhm.
very talented actress.
She is kind of funny. Every time
Yeah,
I've seen her on Jimmy Fallon
or SNL. Yeah,
or
yeah,
SNL,
she hits it
yeah,
out. But she does an impression of Jennifer Coolidge.
that's really funny.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I think Jennifer is great as well for her own unique. I mean, when you get into people's just unique presentation of themselves, we always talk about Gabrielle Union. It's just when people are, as you would say, manifesting and showcasing their it factor, it's pretty dope. But yeah, let's wrap this up, man.
Word.
All right. Thanks, guys, for listening to our little ep on politics, but most importantly, charismatic women. You just got a taste of how Jay and I's conversations flow when we're offline. Until next time, peace.
Peace.